Hello everyone, Jerrel from Sungrand here. Today I'm going to share a couple of the new cryptids I've created for the upcoming Silver Falls games, running through some of the animation. So first we'll have a look at our Face Taker, which people voted for. People voted to add this guy to Guardians and Metal Exterminators as playable, so thanks to everyone who voted. So we'll run through the idle animation here. You can see our pal here. Let's turn off the gizmos. And I said I was going to physics animate that sort of fluid sack, but right now it's just keyframe animation, and I'll add some physics animation afterwards just to help liven things up a bit more, especially on the tongue. But the keyframe animation is enough right now to give that just a good amount of animation. So we have an attack, and honestly, I spent too much time on this attack. I kind of had just fun animating it, so you can see that it's really fluid. It's kind of funny because some of the other cryptid animations they're not as fluid as this one, but because he's supposed to be quite heavy, I wanted him to feel like he's following through with his weight. So I wanted it really to feel like he has mass. Let's see what this attack is. There's with two hands, so he sort of lunges forward there. And you can see maybe I paid a little bit too much attention to the physics on the back end there, but that's all right. Let's see what his third attack looks like. Okay, let's go ahead and run that. Oh, that's if he needs to sort of spit things at you, or if he's roaring. You can see that he sort of leans forward, and he steps down with his hands, then he sort of steps back again, one after the other. Let's see what he looks like when he dies. Just sad. Oh, it loops. It loops. Let's just run through that manually so it doesn't loop here. So he gets hit and he falls and he sort of bounces on the ground a little bit and then he's down for the count. Then you get a good look. I wanted people to have a good look at those pearly whites in there. So when he dies, I wanted people to be able to just very clearly see that. Okay, there's getting hit. You can see this is something I developed the ability for when creating animate, and I had to do a huge amount of animations for non-humanoid models, doing all the different animals. So I had to learn my own particular style in terms of burst frames for taking damage, and then you have to have the sort of extension and the follow through after getting hit. So that's something I had a lot of fun learning when I did animate. We have our idle animation. Let's see what roar looks like. Oh yeah, there's a good boy. There's a good friend. So this face taker will wear people's faces on his mouth sack here. So that's where the human face will be. So this is sort of him sort of trying to lure people in by having a human face there. And then we have his walking animation. It's a little rough. It still needs a bit of work. You can see it's sort of, there's not enough time in there where the leg is moving. So I need to adjust the scale of time for that. So that's something that just needs a little bit more work. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Now let's go ahead and have a look at our other friend here. And this, I was up late doing the animations for this guy, um, and I kept asking myself in the middle of it. I was saying to myself, why do I keep making things with so many tentacles? I don't have to. In the heat of the moment, I just kind of think to myself, yeah, I want more tentacles on that guy. I want more tentacles, bigger tentacles, and I can't seem to stop myself. So, the creature designer in me just wants to keep making more tentacles, and then it's the animator in me has to tag in, and then the animator says, "Why did you do that? Why did you put so many tentacles on that? Why?" You see, he's got these things on the back that are only us. They have some basic keyframe animations because I'm going to apply physics simulations to those as well. So I didn't need to do too much realistic keyframe animation, and honestly, it's hugely time consuming doing keyframe animations for tentacles. These will never have hitboxes attached to them, so I didn't have to worry about it. But the arms and the tentacles do have hitbox, data, so it's important to sort of keep that in mind. So what's important with these kinds of animations is that you need to understand that the creature doesn't really have control of the tips of their tentacles. They have control of the base, and so they swing the base. They move the mass of the base, and then the base sort of drags the tentacle forward, and then it applies momentum. So you need to see that in the animation. You need to see that it's sort of pulling that forward, and you can see sort of what's happening with the momentum of the other tentacles. You can see that they're being pulled, and then as the animation follows through, they sort of the tips then follow, and then the weight follows that, and then you can see that the base of the tentacle has to pull the tentacles in the other direction again. So that kind of thing takes a lot of attention to detail. It didn't matter so much on this particular limb because it's moving so fast that the important part is to more express what's happening in terms of the mass and where that is. I think this one doesn't show up here, but it's when you play it in game, it should switch to the other hand. Let's see what this attack is. Oh no, I accidentally made this attack very adorable. This is if he's sort of spitting things at you. And you can see some communication of what I meant about sort of, you can see the mass of the tentacles dragging, and it sort of has a ripple effect in terms of how the tentacles move. It's so time-consuming to tie tentacles. I don't know why I keep adding so many tentacles to things. Oh no, our friend! This is our friend when he dies. So you can see his shell like snaps, it gets ripped open, and you can see it sort of jitter. This is a detail that I really like putting in there. Sort of like it's his death rattle, his shell sort of rattles as it's opening. So I'll just step through this, so it rattles, and then he falls over, and then that's it. He's dead. And I really wanted this tentacle to have a sort of like a woe is me sort of situation going on. And then what I really wanted was for that eyeball to be hyper visible still. So when he dies, the shell opens, and it's kind of like, look at what you've done to this creature. So I think this is probably my favorite death animation that I've done. I may add just a little bit more work to this in future Silver Falls games. I've run out of time, but really, see, I need the bottom of the tentacle to drag that, and then the weight, to simulate that's pulling that through. I didn't do that in this part because I was up very late working on this. Here's him taking damage. Let's see. Here's this idle animation. Let's see. He is shielding, which is nice and normal, and then this is why the ducks in duck season are the protagonists in duck season, is the ducks can sort of punch through his spacing there and sort of poke his eyeball. And then we have walking, which I think is adorable. Oh, look at our little fella. He's doing it. He's doing it. Look at him. He's cute. He sort of pulls himself forward. His tentacles. Anyway, I don't know why I keep adding so many tentacles to things. At some point in my life, I'm going to have to ask myself some questions, like, do I want to have to keep animating all of these, so many tentacles? And then you might see a shift in my creature designs where there's less tentacles, or maybe I'll just keep doing it. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. It was just fun to share this with you guys. I hope you had fun having a look at the animations of these creature designs. Okay, take care, and please look forward to the upcoming Silver Falls games that will be launching on Nintendo Switch very soon.